All right. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been like 2 weeks, I think. Um. So yeah. There's been a lot of upper stratospheric spraying above me. Um. It's I've been really lucky with the weather. I've been able to ride my bike a lot, which is amazing. I love as soon as the weather starts to clear up from the winter time, I am out on my even during winter time. As long as the sidewalks are clear, I ride my bike. But um Yeah, so I've become really good, exceedingly good at the drive-by truthing. I'm calling it. When I'm out riding my bike and I come across a rare person, a person that's actually outside walking or riding their bike, which is very rare. Um, and I just blurt out, hey, why don't you look up in the sky and see what they're doing? Hey, look at those fake ass clouds up in the sky. Just like just drive by truth, just trying to get them to look up for a few minutes instead of looking at their phone. I see so many look at this. Look at this. You can see the RF clouds right there too. And if you open up your perspective enough to more of like a horizon sky, you can see the entire pattern that they're making. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, I that this is like my new hobby now is just whenever I see someone out, well, not all of them, it as long as like there's an apparent spraying that's been going on, uh then I'll do it. And it's really funny because for me it's funny, for other people it's a terrifying experience when they first wake up to this whole thing that you know we're being poisoned in the skies. It's a really terrifying thing, because everybody has to go through it. And one of those, like, what are those three stages of truth? It's like what is it? It's I can't recall it right now. It's too early in the morning. Um, it was it like denial, and then like anger, and then it becomes self-evident, right? Is that what it is? We like first you're like, nah, 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 it isn't. It's not true. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm so angry because it's this there's something going on here. And then you finally realize it and you accept the truth and you're like, okay, all right, I've that guy was right. You know there's something going on. There really is. So, uh, but I've been really lucky with the weather where I'm at because I know the one guy that I follow too, just looking for truth. He hasn't had it as lucky. Um, But for me, they've been doing a lot of upper stratospheric spraying. So not so much as this down low, dirty stuff that's below the ozone layer. They've been above the ozone layer with this stuff for me. For the most part, they're still spraying underneath it, but yeah. And when I see his videos, it looks like what they're doing. If I had to like just make some kind of intelligent guess or something, is that what they're doing is that they're up where I'm at and they're going down to where he's at, and then all these low flyers, like I usually don't see many planes that fly low where I'm at because I'm not near, like, the only airport that's near me is a little private Cessna airport. So where are all these low flyers coming from? Where are they going to? Because I see them, the direction that they're going in is usually let's see, that's north. They're usually going about southwest. So Philadelphia is south of me, but it's not even close enough to where these guys would be that low. I'm talking about low, low. So and something that I'm trying to help people realize too is that the differences between the engines that these planes use, because I don't know if a lot of people remember, but you used to hear planes all the time, like even when they were like way up in the sky, you would hear them, all the time, but like now you never hear them. You almost never hear any planes. I'm talking about these huge commercial passenger planes. You can hear Cessnas, these little propeller planes, all the time, but like these huge passenger planes with 4 jet engines on them, you don't even hear them when they're like not even that high. That this is how advanced those planes are. Used to hear them all the time, all the time. I remember when I was a kid, you'd hear them, out playing soccer or whatever. You'd hear them everywhere. Um, so,
usually they mix up
uh,
the lower,
yeah.
they go all
Anyways,
over the place. But yesterday was strict upper atmospheric spraying.
people are going
And
from,
this is what it looks like.
one of the reasons why I really wanted to start
You can
like
see
just
how
hitting
like
strangers on,
foggy
not
it
hitting them,
is
but I mean
during
hitting
the
them with the
high.
truth, like on my
And
bike, when I'm out riding my
wherever
bike, is because these are the
you can't
people
see
that
any
at
specific
least are
object.
not under
So
their roof, under a roof all the time, that they're at least willing to be outside for a little bit and not be indoors all day, because people go from their rooftop, their house or apartment, to their car, right? And that, like, there's like a 30-second transition from their house to their car, but they don't look up during that, and then they're in their car with the rooftop, and then they go from their car to their work, right? And then they go from work to their car, and they go to the store, and then they go back, and then so they are only actually outdoors for like few minutes probably. And just look at that. Look at those cell towers. These things are everywhere. Where did they come from? I mean, you know, I've known about these for a while, but you don't really like, you don't really start to see those things until, like, I don't know. I guess there's a vulture. I love. There's so many vultures out here. They're really cool to see those. They fly up so high. It's pretty amazing. Um, but like, there are so many cell towers, and I got a question. Why are there so many cell towers? Uh, I mean, radio, right? AM, FM radio. How many towers did they need to get like global coverage to have an FM radio, you know? But like these cell towers, oh my goodness. I mean, these are like high output, very dangerous RF capabilities in these things. So what is these things are not even a mile apart from each other. That's how bad it is. What is going on there? So yeah, look at this tree. I'm gonna start taking images of the trees. The guy Oakland, he really opened me up to start observing trees a lot more, because let me tell you, once the plants start dying, everything else is gonna follow. We are the byproducts of plants, so we are the parasites of plants, if you want to go that far. So yeah, these two trees out by were I'm just in between classes right now, and I'm just what I have lunch at this little picnic table they have there, and um I once it's just like those cell towers. Once you see the poor trees that are just covered with this funguses, their immune systems are just getting shot with all these chemicals they're spraying. Look at the size of this one. Look at the size of this chemtrail. I mean, I know I've said this 1,000 times in my other videos, but those planes, they're the size of a pinhead when they're up that high. So you have to imagine, you know, people only see planes in the sky when they're making those trails. And I'm talking about like, when they're up that high. I'm not talking about those low flyers or anything, but for the most part, the only time people, and this is how people get conditioned to thinking that this is normal, because they only notice that planes are only flying above them when they leave these trails. The planes that they don't see, that don't leave trails, no one really sees them because they don't do anything. You can't, they're up so high, they make no noise that you don't even know that they're even there. So the only thing that people are used to is seeing is just these trails. That's all they're used to seeing. So, that goes into account, that whole idea of being conditioned to seeing something every day, and then connecting that thing that you see every day with a process, of something that isn't nefarious or whatever, is there's a very deep mental connection going on there, of that conditioning. And that conditioning is a direct correlation with the impact that someone receives when they realize that something is not right. Um, yeah, these as within so without videos I'm doing, I'm enjoying that quite a bit, quite a bit. They they're oh, okay, is that the plane right there? All right, so this plane right here has a marking. The wings look dark. The wings look dark, but it's actually this under the underside has this a black lining underneath it. It's like a black underbelly, uh, kind of like a salamander, and so I needed to point that out. But these as within so without videos, um, I really like doing those. I that the idea of how that came about to me was me watching the sky, because I'm also an amateur astronomer, so like I just look up regardless. And I was watching for chemtrails, and everything just kind of came together. I've been having a lot of syncretism, a lot of these things just combining, um, and there is no coincidence. I know that this whole random factor, I know that doesn't actually exist. It's just the perceived randomness is just ignorant, or it's just stupidity. It's just a person's inability to actually see the deeper connections that there are. That's all that randomness is just basically perceived stupidity. So and all these things have just been like puzzle piece after puzzle piece after puzzle piece, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then, finally I just kind of like connected everything up to this whole enc- encompassing theory. It's one of those things that's like been right in front of your face the whole time, and you're like, what is, what, how could I not have seen this before? And you know, I I'm on the pod still with the immune system, and the thing is, this theory, like it, I know like the first lymphatic immune system video. Of course, people are gonna like that a lot better because it's laying down the groundwork, but it's these it's the finer detail that's where it's like, wow, what is that really? Can that really be true? Like, it's no way, and but it's all just coming together. I'm like, this is insane. How is this? This is where I really want, like, I want people that know more than me to, like, kind of help me out. I am reaching out and seeing if people can help me because I don't know that much about some of these things, about these sciences, and
My camera is not
it's
capturing it.
oh,
That's a hot spot.
it's really amazing. And like, I'm really good at hermetic philosophy, like the principles. I'm not an alchemist, I'm not one of these guys that works on all this other stuff that you hear, Hermetists go into. I got the Kabbalion. I've read that. I've read some of the, Emerald tablets. I don't really. I don't really like some of the translations or whatever, some of the interpretations, but just the Kabbalion, and then the Kabbalion I strip away just so that I have the basic fundamental principles, and um, and then from there I don't get into the alchemy of it. I do the mental transmutation, the mental alchemy, but I don't do like actual alchemy. Like that's just no thanks. Um, so when it comes to that stuff, I am really really good at it, but when it comes to like the magnetism and electricity and stuff like that, like I kind of have to do some research on that, and the um what was it the human anatomy. I'm good at the human anatomy. Like I can get I have that. I go to school for that too, so I'm pretty good at the whole understanding of the body stuff, but yeah, the actual physical sciences I'm not very keen on. Um
Why is that making a rainbow?
anyways, really cool, really cool working on those videos. I hope people are actually getting something from it, because you know I may be right on a lot of the stuff, but I may be wrong on some of it. Like saying like his electromagnetism is blood, but blood has many components to it. So that's why I filtered it down to like plasma. So it's a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress. So I hope people understand that I'm not I you know everything is a half truth. Am I right?
Because
Everything is a
natural
half
clouds
truth in the end.
appear from nowhere.
So I'm trying just to get as much pure of you know
Remember that
without
thing that
getting
was
too
just
much into the
making
contradictions of
rainbow that
existence,
I pointed
that
out? Well, now
the
it's
pure science of
just like fog.
the
Just
one thing and then the all thing, and then um, the feedback that one and all get
big
from
piece
each
of
other.
that, huh?
It's a very deep thing for me to get into,
They're
and I'm a loner. I'm a loner. So when it comes to stuff like that, I've spent over a decade in my mind with these thoughts, and then actually doing the videos. It's really interesting to see people's responses to it, and that some people actually do
I
like
just
it.
came out
Like
here
it's
just to get some sun,
I'm so like I can't I'm so
Just
happy that
ran into
people
it
actually,
just
because
after
I
the
never
video.
talk about these things. Who can you actually talk
Starting my
about
routine here.
philosophy to nowadays? Like if I wanted to mention like something about it, like you can't, you know, like I'm in college right now. I'm an old dude in college, and I see these like 18-year-olds that, when they're doing a PowerPoint point presentation, they can't even pronounce some of the, they don't even know how to pronounce salmonella.
Fucking
And I see that like every day. So like who can I actually talk to about this stuff? It's so I guess it relates to this chemtrail stuff where it's like it you can't just talk to everyone about it, and it's really finding that community of people. So anyways, back to what I'm showing here. I've been lucky. The weather that you've been seeing, like this is luck. And this is bad. This is bad. See, that's the thing. This is bad weather. Like this is good weather, right? But they're still spraying. They're still out spraying. Like on a day that would be perfectly clear and beautiful out with no clouds or anything, they're out spraying. Like you can see them all stacked up over there, and they're going over the sun or right under the sun. It's just so you know so lame, so lame. And this is where all that really hot temperature has been coming from where I'm at. Like just look at this. I mean, that's all upper stratospheric spraying too. That's all the stuff that those super small chemtrails that are so high up. this is what they turn into. You know, and the lower stratospheric stuff does the same thing too, but not nearly as um, I don't know, I don't know, not nearly as it's all bad. So whatever. But anyways, this video is just about to end. So for those of you who have been watched all the way through, thank you. Um, keep looking up. Keep looking up. You know, let people know, but you know, don't uh, don't let any of the haters get to you. So this is a fact. They're doing this. It's a fact. There's nothing else to say. You know. So all right, peace, love, everybody, and until next time.